Hey, you got disconnected.
Hey, are you able to hear me?
Yes, I can. Where did I cut off when you got disconnected?
Oh, we were just talking about how prodigious the doctor is.
Well, I was just telling you about education credentials, and like where did I cut? Well, I had basically said that like I started college early. I started college when I was 16, but because he had skipped 2 grades, and so when he was in 12th grade, he was 15, he was able to also do college early. So he did, just like I did, he did half a day of school, half a day of college, but the guy started college when he was 15.
Yeah, he sounds like, look, I'm going to tell you something about guys like that, and I hope this doesn't sound too self-aggrandizing, but I throw myself in there too in terms of talking about guys men that sort of have it together. It's important for a man to have a sense of what he wants to do and who he wants to be. Now, that comes differently for different people, different ages. Some people are able to find that aspect of themselves early, and it takes longer for other people. I'm going to say that if someone still doesn't have that sense of themselves when they're 47, that's a huge red flag. And I would say that for someone like your friend, or this other friend that your mother was telling me about, the store manager, the fellow that lives next to you said, and she was telling me a little bit about him, and he's very successful as well, and sort of self-made. That he's got his head on right, and he's building a life, and he knows where he's going, and that sort of thing. Those are important tells about sort of the caliber of a person. And I'll say, for myself, I'm not that much older than you are, and I've got to practice, and I knew what I wanted to do at an early age, and I feel I've been successful. And you need someone like me, or your doctor friend, or your manager friend, someone that. To use an old term that my grandfather used to use, that's kind of crude but apropos here, someone who has their shit together. Right? Lorne doesn't have his shit together. He's all over the place. He's a mess. And for you, he would just be an anchor around your neck. You can understand what I mean by that, right? But even if you, let's start here. Even if you don't feel it, and it conflicts with some emotional attachment that you have to him, intellectually, objectively, you understand what I'm saying, right? You can see my point. These guys are better candidates exponentially in every respect. Obviously, you're attracted, or at least have the potential to be attracted to one of them, to the doctor. You and I have, I think, developed a certain rapport here tonight, a certain cadence to our dialogue, and I've enjoyed it very much, and I think you have too. And I don't say what I mean by that is that I can see the value that you have as a woman, as a potential mate, a partner. And you need to see that. You need to be able to see that. Maybe it doesn't, maybe what you need is a friend, somebody who can give you a sense of what it means, of how it feels, and what it's like to be sociable, to socialize with someone who's a cut above, so to speak, someone who has that indefinable something that makes them, if not irresistible, then certainly intriguing at the least. as I've said to you before, I feel like, in addition to being your therapist, that I'm your friend. And when the time comes for us to terminate our professional relationship, our patient-practitioner relationship, I'm happy to be your friend to a larger degree. You know, just to spend time with you, hang around with you, do some of the things that upwardly mobile people like us do, and show you how it feels in a no pressure sort of test run. You know, where you can say, "Hey, I like this lifestyle," you know, and then
he's trying to be slick. He's boring you up to get you to agree with him, to put me down, and he's trying to hit on you again, and he is married.
maybe you pursue the doctor at some point, or you pursue your friend, the manager, at some point, after you've developed a certain level of comfort with me, or for example. And that's what you need. I mean, that's what your life is missing. And as long as you have this bizarre emotional attachment to Lorne, you're never going to be able to obtain those things. I want you to think about how it made you feel when you found out about his tryst or his rendezvous with at the donut restaurant, at the donut shop. What would have happened there and how it made you feel. I want you to think about how it makes you feel when he calls you a bitch, whether it's to your face or to someone else, because he's trying to get her to send him naked pictures of herself because he's drunk again after he told you he wouldn't drink anymore. Think about how that makes you, how that made you feel in those moments. And what I want you to do, instead of pushing that feeling down and ignoring it, is I want you to hold on to it tight. Put it in your proverbial hand and hold on to it. Because even though it hurts and it feels bad, it's your ticket to freedom.
And think how it's trying to feel that I'm getting my shit straight and right.
It's time for you to get in touch with your feelings instead of denying them.
And I've gotten so good at stuffing the feeling down, and and it's avoiding things has kind of become a part of my life now. Case in point, prior to the last year, when my phone would go off, I'd get all excited, oh, I have a text message, or oh, I have a call, because I never knew who it was, and to me, it's always exciting whenever I get a text message. And and now it is too. It's always been, and it probably always will be, because that's someone who wants to talk to me, or that's someone who has something to say to me. And so if somebody wants to make contact with me, I'm really happy about that. I genuinely am. Or if they call me. But hold on, let me tell you this though. But now it's I don't really get part of me kind of dreads it, when it. Because I never know if it's a drunk message.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, that's the worst case. Remember what I talked about before when I talked about how, in some senses, in a relationship, that excitement can fade, right? Because that's the newness, that's the novelty, and the mystery and the intrigue. These are the things that the universe has designed to get our attention for each other. But when those things fade, and they do eventually, there has to be something more substantial to replace them, something lasting. See, what you're experiencing right now is that all the magic is disappearing, and there's nothing to replace it. Because Lorne is not a man of any particular depth, and he just doesn't have anything to offer you there.
I think the magic is just beginning.
Now, I want to point something out to you, okay? Because one of the reasons why I'm able to speak to this with, why I have so much passion for this is because, and I haven't told a lot of people about this, and I'll be perfectly candid with you. The only reason I'm telling you about it is because I feel a closeness to you, an attachment, a connection, I think is a better word. I don't want to make you uncomfortable when I say that. And if it does make you uncomfortable, please let me know. I don't mean it to. But I'm in the middle of a divorce. My wife, there's just a handful of people who know.
What?
People who are very close to us. But my marriage is basically dissolved to the point where it's a facade at this point. And we probably will have the divorce finalized in the next couple of weeks.
Gee, I wonder why he's getting divorced. He probably cheated on his wife.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Well, I appreciate
I'm so
that.
sorry to hear that.
But the reason I'm telling you this is because I want to take us back for a second to what you said when you described the way that it used to make you feel when you would get a text message, and the reason that was so important to you. You said it made you feel important, excited. There was a mystery, an adventure waiting for you on the other side of that telephone screen.
And it didn't have to be a message from like someone I was dating. It could be like a message from a friend of mine, or or
Sure.
like a parent or something.
Yeah, right. But the point is that you had a need for companionship, for acknowledgement, for community. This is a very basic human need. There's nothing wrong with it. There's everything right with it. It's one of the most wonderful things. But this is what I want you to think about. Imagine that you had that feeling, not because you got a text message and you didn't know who it was from and you were excited about that, but because it was a knock on the door instead. Because there was somebody outside who wanted to take you on a real adventure. Say, hey, let's go have dinner. Let's go watch a show. Let's go to a concert. Let's go take a walk.
That fuck is hitting on you again.
And I'll hold your hand, or we'll just get to know each other. And it's real. It's not just you sitting at home reading this adventure on a 5-inch screen, but it's you out in the real world with an infinitely large screen of infinite color, having an adventure with somebody who wants to have an adventure with you. Doesn't that sound magnificent? Doesn't that sound fabulous?
Yeah.
You could have that. You can have that. Now, I didn't mention, I'm not telling you, I'm not divulging the struggle, my struggle, about my withering facade of a marriage to make you feel uncomfortable or to be inappropriate. But I'm telling you that I have the same needs you do in that regard, because I don't have that with my soon-to-be ex-wife any longer. And
oh wait, hold on, hang on one quick second. I'm gonna charge my phone. Hang on one quick second. think it's charging. I have plenty of battery, but the thing keeps falling out. But okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I don't remember what you were talking about. I think I was just. I hope I didn't cross a line.
I
divorce.
I have a question though. I have a question though. Like, I mean, like, I'm gonna just be real neutral when in what I say, and I'm just curious. I mean,
how much longer are you going to talk to this guy? I'm tired of him hitting on you and putting me down for his own agenda.
You're very classy, you're very professional, you're very talented. I mean, I would say
he's not a great therapist.
And I mean, like, I don't know how to say it. You could be a Chippendales dancer, but I don't go to places like that. But
I'm very flattered. Thank you. I'll try to take care of myself.
I'm just wondering, like, why are why you're. Oh, it feels so weird asking somebody this. Why are you getting divorced?
No, that's not. I mean, that's a logical question.
I got cut off the call.
I want you to understand that there are two reasons why I'm telling you this stuff. Okay. The first is that I want you to feel like you can trust me, and I'm showing you that you can trust me by trusting you, and I hope you see that. That's very important. I also feel like we're kindred spirits, and I know that probably sounds crazy, and I hope it doesn't scare you. I don't usually make myself vulnerable like that. It's just I feel a real connectedness to you, and part of the reason is because oh boy, are you freaked out? You want me to shut up?
I have heard everything.
Yeah, I know, but I don't. I just. I met my wife. I was 19. We were 19. She may have been 18 when I first met her.
Oh, hang on one sec. Hang on one sec. Because,
sure. That's right.
Call me back.
Sir, continue.
Everything okay?
That was just something. Okay, go ahead. What were you saying?
What were we saying? I don't want to make you uncomfortable by unburdening more than I should. But you did ask, so well, we were very young when we met, And when I met her, she was in another relationship. It was I met my uncle is a counselor. He's a Christian counselor. He works with churches and works with abuse victims, and he works with a lot of young people, young girls, and just out of high school and that age range, troubled kids, that sort of thing. And I had just gone with him. There was this church retreat, and he had some of the girls that he was working with, and my wife was one of them. And she was 2 months pregnant. She was in this terrible situation with this kid that was he was in drugs and he would hit her. I mean, just a really bad situation, right? But she couldn't get out of it. She had this emotional. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I don't hope it doesn't offend you when I say this, but it was obviously a much more extreme version of the kind of thing that I think you're struggling with.
This therapist is getting too personal.
Where she was in a situation that wasn't good for her, but she didn't know how to get out, and she was just confused, and I fell for her. I mean, I fell for her, man. She was so vulnerable, and she had so much to offer, and just didn't know it, and it broke my heart. Even at that young age, it just broke my heart, and I kept in touch with her for a couple of years. She had the baby. We lived about 100 miles apart, so it was just kind of a, letters and phone calls kind of thing. I was already in school, and she was still living with her parents. And anyway, eventually, the guy, he just went too far, and he just did some terrible things to her, and she got out. She finally woke up enough to get out of that situation. So, of course, when that happened, we started talking more, and it just moved on real fast from there. And we got married, and the kid was so young. It's my stepson, and just like he was my own kid. I loved him because I loved her, and that was that. And it was a great marriage for a long time. And, I finished school and started my practice and this and that. And about 4 years ago, she just I don't know. She just started talking to some of her old friends from that time, when she was a kid, and I didn't know a lot of this until it's just been in the last 4 months, 5 months. I mean, it's so new, it's so raw, But she just started messing with drugs again, and she did all of this under my nose, under everybody, right? I don't know how she pulled it off, but
Ali does not get personal with me like this, and I don't like this.
I mean, for a long time, she pulled it off flawlessly. Nobody knew. We have busy lives. Sometimes I have to travel. Sometimes she has to travel. It's not unusual for us to go a day or two or longer without seeing each other. And so it was easy for her to get away with doing things. And anyway, I'm sorry. I'm rambling. But what she tells me is that about a year ago she reconnected with James, with my stepson's father. He'd been out of the picture. I mean, he was just just a junkie, no good, you know. And we never figured we'd see him again. You know, we didn't even tell Silas about him. That's my boy, until just a few years ago. Anyway, basically that's it. She, I guess she never stopped having feelings for him. I don't know why. He's a deadbeat. But sometimes young love just distorts a person's view of the world, and I guess she just never got him out of her system. And
who's the therapist? You or him?
that's that.
Thank you for telling me. I mean, yeah,
I'm really sorry. I know it's totally inappropriate for me to tell you stuff like this. You know, I just, you know, it's like a water faucet. You know, when the water starts flowing, it just all comes out. I don't get to unburden myself with very many people. You know, nobody ever asks, who does the therapist talk about when he needs someone to talk to? Who does he talk to, you know? But,
calm down. He's probably going to terminate our client/therapist relationship.
I don't know, man. I just, you know, she doesn't want to have anything to do with me anymore, and I don't know what in the world I ever did. I mean, I tried to give her a good life, and I don't know, maybe I worked too much, I don't know. But anyway, it's really, really been hard.
From what everything I've gathered, you sound like a great guy, and you know you're not going to have any problem, you know, getting back out there and finding your happiness. You really won't. I mean,
I hope you're right. I really do. It's you know, I have days where I'm able to believe that, and I have days where I just want to break down and get on my face and ask her why. What could I have done better? I raised the boy like he was my own. I built a life for us. Do you know that we were net millionaires before I was 30? I mean, I know it's not all about money, but I just...
He needs to, 'cause he went past his limit. If he doesn't, then you need to.
I wanted a life for her that I always knew that she deserved, even if she didn't know it. And I guess she just doesn't love herself enough to understand that that's what she deserves. And I have to apologize to you for getting so personal. I don't mean to make you. I hope you don't feel uncomfortable. I hope you don't. I know that I violated the protocol of our patient-practitioner confidentiality, and I'm sorry for that.
well, not so much that, but like we'll have to terminate our client therapist relationship, and I mean, you sound like a great person to be friends with.
This is going to be coming to an end in fairly short order, because I basically have done what your parents hired me to do in terms of explaining to you why I think you need to terminate your relationship with Lorne. And that's pretty much all I can do. I'll be honest with you. I have a sense of connectedness with you, where I just really feel like I understand where you're at, even if you don't. It's one of the reasons why I'm on the phone with you at 5 in the morning. I've got a patient in 4 hours.
He is wanting to hit on you again.
So, but I just see where you are, and I see the situation you're in, and it breaks my heart because you deserve so much better. And if I could just get you to see that.
Now you sound like my mom.
Well, I'm going to tell you, your mom loves you so much, and she would lay her life down just for you to have the life that you deserve. I mean, you're the eye of the storm for her. You're the center of the whole world, and all she wants is for you to be okay. And you have a beautiful family. Your parents are fine people, and the sincerity and the depth of their love for you is so evident to me, and it's so inspiring. You know, that's the way that all parents should feel about their children. And you know, now I know you, and I've gotten to know you a little bit, and I see what the kind of person you are, and all I can say to myself is, how could anyone not feel that way about you? You know, you're wonderful, and I hope that doesn't make you feel uncomfortable. I'm not trying to overstep my boundaries. I'm just saying that, you know, you're a dream girl, and you deserve the best. Whether it's someone like me, or whether it's the doctor, or, you know, you deserve the best.
He needs to know there's no connection after this call.
You deserve a Rolls Royce. You don't need to be riding around in a old beat-up Dodge. And I don't mean to... I know that I'm not trying to insult Lorne, but that's what he is. And you're too good for him. You're too good for him.
It seems like a lot of people say that, but like...
You should listen to them. Especially one of them is your therapist.
Or, well, former therapist.
Soon enough. And I gotta say, man, I hope that I've given you something to really meditate on and ruminate on and think about. And I would love to be able to see you into that next phase.
This asshole has a hidden agenda.
To transition out of this unhealthy, dysfunctional relationship that you're in with this loser, and see you walk into something that's befitting someone of your worth and your caliber. And I've come to care about you, and I want to do whatever I can to help, to be that guy, to be that friend to help you get over that loser and find something real and something good for yourself. Listen, why don't... You know, I'm supposed to just make a call to your parents tomorrow. We have a teleconference scheduled, and then we're going to set something up for next week. And basically it's going to be, you know, like a debriefing, like an out. You know, it's going to be a closing meeting. I mean, they already know that I really can't do much else for the situation. I've communicated my concerns and their concerns to you. So you know where they stand, and you know what my professional evaluation is of the situation. And after next week, that's going to be the end of, you know, my professional relationship with them. Why don't we get together for dinner or something? I mean, nothing. You know, I hope that's not too forward. Why don't we?
No.
Visit and talk about this stuff. And
I can do dinner.
You have some time. Yeah, I mean, nothing big, nothing, just where we're not constricted by the parameters of a professional clinical relationship, and we can talk about this stuff. And
what the hell?
Maybe just I gave you a hand and help you and find some footing. And does that sound okay to you? Maybe?
Yeah, I can do dinner sometime next week.
Okay, I'll tell you what. I've got your number, and why don't I give you a call after my exit meeting with your folks, and we'll make a plan. Does that sound okay?
Yeah, because I'm thinking that when is the exit meeting? Because I want to go to that too.
You just made a day with him with me on the phone.
Yeah, they may. That's up to them. That's to their discretion. I don't know when yet. I'm trying to think off the top of my head what appointments I have free next week. It wouldn't be until probably Wednesday or Thursday, because I've got to get with your parents firstly and make sure that we have a time that we both can do it. But sometime like in the middle of next week, probably I'd say Wednesday or Thursday. Off the top of my secretary keeps track of all that stuff, but I think those are the days that I have openings. So I'm sure that I'll be able to work something out with your mom and dad. But
Thursday I'm having surgery on my knee. So Wednesday.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I told you. Yeah, my knee injury, but Wednesday works, and
Holy fuck!
So I'll keep that in mind when I'm talking to your parents tomorrow, and I'll say let's try to do something on Wednesday.
Yeah, if worst comes to worst, Friday, because I just have to. Yeah.
You're not going to be. It's outpatient, right? You're not going to be.
He is outpatient.
I'm going to say I'll come see you in the hospital if you want, But yeah, Friday should be fine. I'm sure that I can't think of anything that I have lined up in the evening next week. So why don't we plan on that tentatively?
This is fucking bullshit.
And we'll work out the details after our meeting next week. And maybe not. I'll leave it up to you whether we should mention having dinner to your parents or not. I don't want them to take it the wrong way. I just.
My mom will. Oh gosh, no, because her first thing will be, okay, this is your new husband now. So my mom goes from. Literally, she goes from, oh yes, this is my friend, this is my neighbor and my good friend, to, oh, when's the wedding? That's literally my mom.
It's not a date.
She's just being a good mom. She's just looking out for you. She's just she wants you to be happy and have a good thing, a good situation, a good life. And if that's the worst thing she ever does, she's doing pretty good, huh?
She is. I'm not mad at her or anything, but it's just like, she's just. Oh my gosh, I can't even,
She's a mom. That's really all you have to say. I've dealt with a million of them. I am a family fan, remember.
She goes from 0 to like a million in like 3 seconds. Like, oh, this is my friend. Oh, really? So, what kind of dress are you going to wear when you walk down the aisle with your father?
Yeah, it is. Just heard the whole fucking thing. Maybe I should get off the phone so I don't have to hear this fucking shit.
Or, like, she freaked out once because I had a friend who had a fear of ants. And she thought that was weird. I mean, she's crazy, and I love that Casey and JoJo song.
Oh yeah, that's a good song, man. That's going back a ways. That's a damn good song.
That is. But see, I can't say that to her because she'll say, "Oh, well, they have another hit, All My Life, and that would be perfect to be your first dance song."
Man, I went out with a girl that was we took a road trip to Las Vegas.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, this is right before I met my wife, and we lied to her parents and my parents about we were, because I was 18 at the time, and I don't know what the hell we thought we were going to do in Las Vegas as a couple of teenagers. She was a little bit older, but we were both neither one of us were legal, so I don't know what we thought. I mean, we didn't end up doing much.
It's not a date.
Other than just hanging around on the strip, and we tried to get into a few casinos, but that didn't work. But anyway, but we drove out there, and we lied to her parents and my parents and said it was a church thing. Anyway, but she had that CD. That was the CD at the time that they had out. It was the one after the All My Life. So it was the crazy.
I love
and then she
that
had
Bullshit. You need to get off the phone with this fuck.
What was the other one she had? It was Shaggy. Angel.
Shaggy, you're my angel. You're my darling angel. Closer than I've ever been, baby.
Those are her two songs, man, and she couldn't stop listening. Like, when I hear those, I just think of that trip, because we must have listened to each one of them 100 times. She was so into those songs, and I remember that she moved away, and she went to school, and it was like a couple years later, she sent me a Christmas present, kind of randomly, because we weren't even dating at that time. We just kept in touch, and I got a present for a box from her, and it was those two CDs. And I don't know if she was thinking that, like, I told her, man, I hate those songs. I like them now because I can look back and, I remember the trip and stuff. But at the time, I got so sick of those damn songs. And I don't know if she sent me the CDs ironically, like to say, now you have to listen to these songs that you hate, or if she thought that I liked them, or maybe she just wanted me to keep remembering that trip, because she wanted to get back together. I don't know what, but anyway, it's funny when I think of those songs, because I think of that summer, and I have no idea why I told you that story.
This shit has gotten too personal.
But,
well, it's funny because I'll tell like a story to like Bro or some of my friends about like a guy who I dated, a millennia ago, and it's like I tell the story and it's like, I smile when I tell it and everything, and people are like, you can talk so well regarded of your exes and that kind of thing, and it's like, well, yeah, I mean, it's like every breakup I've had or whatever has been on good terms and has not been something that like made me angry or made me, like that kind of thing. So it's like things didn't work out because we were different people, we were incompatible, but not because like I was thrown down a flight of steps and I had to get like 10 surgeries, or not because like I was cheated on and I walked in on my boyfriend and having sex with his ex-girlfriend or something like that. It's just different people. And so those are stories you just look back on, and for me, I smile.
Yeah, man. Life was so much easier, and you think about those adventures and you think about being younger, and it's just like, man, I get so many problems now, and so many situations I'm going through a rough time, and it's just fun to have someone to talk to, but I really think you need to call things off with Lorne, and I know you know that already. I'm not going to repeat myself too much, but I really hope you think about what I've said.
I'm so tired of this guy.
And I hope that you will take it to heart and understand that I'm only telling you this, A, because as your therapist, I'm committed to your well-being and what's best for you. But as your friend, I care about you, and I've been there, man. I've been in a bad relationship like the one you're in now. And I'm telling you, it's worth it to get out.
He's full of shit.
For your sake, it's worth it to get out.
But are you saying this because you like me, or?
Well, you're putting me on the spot there. I'm saying this because I care about you, and because it's my job and my pleasure to tell you what it is in your best interest to hear. And because it's my professional duty to honor the commitment that I've made to your parents. And that's why I'm telling you this. And
so, like, okay, well then let me give you. Let me.
I don't have an angle. I'm not trying to break you up so that I can pursue you. I'm trying to break you up so that you can pursue your best life.
Well, then let me pose this to you, okay? So let's go with a scenario. Say I say, well, let's say tonight or tomorrow I said, well, Lorne, I never want to see you again. I'm going to be with the doctor or the neighbor. What would you say?
If you said to me as your therapist or me as your friend?
Either. I'm curious to gauge your response.
I would say that what you need to tell Lorne is, Lorne, I'm calling it off. I'm not going to be with you anymore. And you don't owe him any more of an explanation.
No. I mean, like, if I like...
I know what you're getting at. I know where you're going with this.
Hold on, let me think.
Be nice.
Let me think. How do I word it?
Take your time.
So basically, like,
I'm okay with you being with your doctor friend. I'm okay with you being with your neighbor. I'm okay with you being with neither of them for a while. It's one of the reasons why I said I'll be your friend in this time. to help you transition into the next phase of your life, whatever it is. But I'm fine with you being with either of those guys if that's how it works out, as long as you're not with Lorne. That's where I'm coming from. Does that make sense? Lorne is the issue here. I mean, Lorne is because he's the enemy.
Why have I heard that before?
He's your enemy.
He's my enemy.
Probably because somebody else who cares about you has said it to you before. I don't know. But he's your enemy because he's bad for you. He's harmful to you. He's not good for you. He's not right for you. And you need to see that. Nobody can see it for you. You've got to internalize all of these things that we've talked about and everything that you know to be true.
He's full of shit.
As I told you before, that pain that you feel that makes you want to ignore certain things and look the other way and just not think about those things, that pain is a gift from the universe. It's the universe's way of telling you, hey, flashing red alarm here, this is not right. So you need to start holding on to that pain, because even though it hurts and it doesn't feel good, it's the universe's way of telling you this is the wrong situation for you. So, I didn't mean to get off into a whole thing there, but to answer your question,
I mean, it's almost like you said word for word what 3 other people have said to me.
That means you have 3 other very smart people.
I think you guys, it's funny because I was going to say I think you guys are all talking, but you guys are, but just at different times. But I mean, the doctor had said to me, because when he found out about Lorne, he said he basically was saying you got to get away from this guy, is how he put it. You got to get away from this guy. You've got to get away from this guy. I'm worried about you. And it's crazy because
he sounds like a good friend. He sounds like a good friend.
Oh, he's a great friend. Don't get me wrong. He's a great friend. He's great. But
they're all saying the same thing with a hidden agenda.
He had said, he was showing so much concern for me before I found out that he knew. Like, Ramona, are you okay? If there's anything that you need, I'm here for you. If you need to talk about anything at all, I'm here for you. Anything at all. And if you don't want to talk to me, I have a bunch of other friends and anybody. If you want to talk to someone professional, I mean, he literally ran down the list of people, and but he was like, you really, you want to talk to me, you can, I'm here, I'll always be here for you. He kept saying that, I'll always be here for you. And I'm like, what the hell is he talking about? I mean, he's a sensitive guy anyway. He's sympathetic or sensitive and caring and compassionate, but I'm like, what is he like? What is he talking about? Are they planning to kill me or something? And so then I found out that he had known and whatnot, and he said, he just kept saying, you've got to get away from this guy. And I said to him, doctor, I said his name, what his name is, but I said, you're saying that because you like me. He said, he said, I love you, but and he said, I love you and I want to be with you, but if you don't want to be with me and you end up with our neighbor, he said the name, you end up with the neighbor, then that's fine. You've just got to get away from this guy. The neighbor said the same thing too. My mom, in not so many words, said the same thing. She didn't say, if you don't end up with the doctor, the neighbor, end up with me. But what she said was, if you don't end up with the doctor or the neighbor and you end up single or you end up with someone else, I don't know if I should finish the sentence, but she said, quote, anything's better than a registered sex offender.
Yeah. I was also also an abusive alcoholic with no job and no money, and who's almost 50 years old. And you know what? She's dead right. And I'll tell you that I don't know the doctor. I don't know your neighbor friend. But I would say the fact that they are all saying the same thing that Mom is saying, that Dad is saying, that I'm saying, should tell you something very powerful. And, if I can presume to speak for the doctor and your neighbor, I understand where they're coming from, because you're a catch.
What's my mom's agenda?
You're two fish on the hook. That's how much of a catch you are.
Hey, I'm vegan. I don't want any fish on the hook. I want them in the ocean.
Oh, fine. You're two bananas on the stalk. Do bananas go on the stalk?
I'm two beans on the stalk. Do beans go on the stalk? Yeah, I think beans do.
Yeah, but usually you open up a pod, there's like a bunch of them, right? No, that's peas. Okay.
Yeah, two peas in a pod.
Can you tell I slept through botany? Anyway, the point is that you're a catch, man. You're a catch among catches, and I can see wanting to be with someone like you. And I understand where the doctor's coming from, and I understand where the neighbor guy is coming from, and they're right. But beyond being a catch, you're just a terrific person, and we all want what's best for you, whatever that is. And we may not know who that is, but we know who it isn't. And it isn't Lorne.
They all want you, and I'm in the way, and the call with this guy needs to end. This is just bullshit now.
And I think it's time for you to start listening to your friends.
Oh, God damn it. My mother relishes in being right. And it's like,
Well, she's earned that right. She's earned that right.
I said to her, I'm like, Mom, you're hoping, oh, God, this one that I said to her, I said, Mom, you're hoping that he turns out to be a bad guy so that you can say that you were right. And she said, yeah, I'm hoping that the registered sex offender, she loves using that. I'm hoping that the registered sex offender who gets drunk and abuses you turns out to be a bad guy. Yeah, because that's not bad.
What's my mom's agenda?
Well, I've got news for you. He did. He already turned out to be a bad guy. That's what I'm trying to tell you. There's no question here. There's nothing left to figure out. He is a bad guy. And it's time for you to get out of that situation. You know, like I said, your mom has earned the right to be right. And even to say, I told you so a little bit if it comes to that.
Oh, gosh. Okay, well, then here's a question, okay? If he were, like, if Lorne were listening in, or if he were, like, in the room and you were having this conversation, for one thing, I think he would have, like, jumped and attacked you, but that's another story. But
oh, I'm sure.
She's scared, and that's understandable.
Well, two things I have a question. If he were listening, he would say that they have a hidden agenda. Like that you guys have a hidden agenda.
Oh, yeah.
What's your take on that? Do you guys have a hidden agenda?
I don't have a hidden agenda. I can't speak for those guys. Here's what I would say about the doctor based on what you've told me and the little bit that your mom told me. I think he has an agenda, but I don't think it's hidden. I think he's been very straightforward with you. He's been a man. He's been a man about it. He has expressed how he feels about you. He hasn't tried to force himself on you. He hasn't tried to manipulate you. He's just been a man and been honest about it. doesn't sound like a hidden agenda to me. That's the first point. And the second point is, I think it's an honorable agenda. He doesn't sound to me like he's trying to lay you or use you or hurt you. He sounds to me like a guy who's smart enough to recognize an incredible woman when he sees one, and I hope he's got a shot with someone like that.
This guy is going to tell you what you want to hear with the hidden agenda.
I don't know anything about the neighbor other than that he's successful, he's got a good job, and that's a good sign. But I would say that's probably the case for him as well, if he has those kinds of feelings for you. And if he's ever communicated that to you, then that's not a hidden agenda. He's just being honest. He's being a man. If Lorne were here to have this conversation with you know what I would say to him? I would say, why is it okay for you to put your agenda out there and tell her point blank that you love her, but when these other guys do it, there's something wrong with it? What kind of hypocrisy is that? These guys are the ones who haven't called her a bitch and who haven't tried to hit up other women when they were supposedly devoted to Ramona. Where in the hell do you get off acting like you're the righteous one here? Like you're the white knight and these other guys are the bad guys. These are good guys. These are respectable guys.
The only agenda I have is to be better for us.
And they're treating her right. And I would add myself to that list in the sense that I understand, I can see why they feel the way they do and why the interest is there for them. But the advice they're giving you, I mean, if I had an agenda, if I had an angle, I would say, no, don't get with the doctor. He sounds like this. And I would give you some psychobabble. And I would use my authority as your therapist to try to convince you that the doctor was bad for you. And if I was just trying to push everybody else out of the picture and pursue you myself. For the neighbor, I would say, no, you don't want to be with the neighbor because of this and this. And I would use my skills and abilities as a professional, a clinical professional, and manipulate you that way if I had a hidden agenda.
This guy is not professional. This call needs to be over with him, Ramona.
And I mean,
I've been completely forthright with you, and from what you're telling me, so has the doctor. The only guy whose actions haven't matched his words is Lorne's. Because he says he's devoted to you, but then he goes and tries to fuck. Or he says he's devoted to you, but then he tries to get someone to send him naked pictures, right? Or he says that he wants to treat you right, and then he calls you a bitch. Or he says he's not going to drink anymore, and then he gets smashed. I mean, where's the honor in any of that? And we're not talking about ancient history. We're talking about recent shit from what you told me.
and I mean, that's one thing. One thing I have to give you guys, or at least the neighbor and the well, I mean, you included, based on things that you've just said to me, is that they're the doctor and the neighbor, they're good friends, and they both have a respect for each other, and they both are, they know each other. They're good friends. I introduced them, and they respect each other. They enjoy each other's company, but they both admittedly love me. Neither of them. I mean, I knew the neighbor before I knew the doctor. I've never known the doctor to have a girlfriend. The neighbor had broken up and moved here. Here meaning this apartment complex or building, whatever. But other than that, I think he went on one date, before I even met Lorne. Outside of that, I mean, it's literally two guys who are just waiting on me, kind of thing. But even though they both are waiting for me and have that kind of liking for me, they respect each other, and I admire that. They treat each other with kindness. They're friends, and they are not fighting over me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that speaks to my point about what sounds to me like they're respectable guys. They're honorable guys. They're upstanding guys, and especially you can learn the most about a person when you see how they act when there's something that they're competing for. Which I don't mean to say they're competing for you, but clearly they both appreciate what you have to offer. And the doctor has said as much that he would pursue something with you if it were in his purview to do so. And I imagine that your neighbor would say have some of the same feelings and that sort of thing. But neither one is trying to undercut the other, and I think I don't presume to speak for people I don't know, but I think they would both say, just as I've said and as you have said on their behalf, we want what's best for you.
They've said that before.
Yeah, and I think they would agree with this as well. If I was to say on their behalf, I would love to be with you. I would love to be with someone like you. I would consider it the greatest privilege of my life to have the honor of being able to be in relationship with you. But whether that's the best for you or not is for the universe that tells, right? Who knows? But I can live without you if it means that you're in the place where you need to be. That's how much I care about you. That's how much I love you as a friend, apart from any personal attraction I might have for you. I just want you to be happy, and I want you to be healthy and to be safe. And Lorne is the opposite of all of that. He's the contrary to all of those things. You have admitted yourself, not in so many words, that the magic isn't there like it was, and it's clear to me that you're not happy when you...
I don't know if there was ever magic. When I said, magic, I've always thought magic comes from being in person now.
I've heard enough. I'm getting off the phone so you can be alone with your date.
Sure.
So magic can't come till we're in person.
I would tend to agree with that. You never know how two people are going to connect, but I would say, generally speaking, that's one of the things I say about what you've got now is half a relationship in the sense that the best that he could, let's say that Lorne were the perfect guy, which would basically mean that he would have to be the opposite of all the things he is now. And I'm sorry if that's offensive or crude or I'm not trying to insult him. I'm just being honest with him. I'm candid. But let's say that he were the best version of himself right now. Okay, you're still stuck in half a relationship.
He's not my date.
Because he can't show up to take you to dinner. He can't show up to hold your hand.
And he just hung up. Okay, so he just... Yeah, so he hung up so that I could be alone with my date.
Hell yeah, dude. I cut him so many times.
My God.
It felt so good. I know there was a lot of filler in this. It's like a 6-hour recording.
This is great.
And we're going to have to edit the fuck out of it, but man, that felt good. I love sticking him over and over, and he can't do anything about it.
He can't, except just But you're so right, and you know what? He has sent me, because I want to call him, because I want you to hear his reaction, because I know he is pissed. He has sent me... Let me put you on. Give me 2 minutes, okay? I got to run into the other room and grab my phone real fast. Give me 2 minutes, okay? Okay, sounds good.
I'll be right back.
I'm off the phone. I've had enough of that asshole. And it's a fucking date.
I'm calling you when he and I get off the phone.
Hi, I'm back. Sorry about that.
Okay.
My people have been trying to get a hold of me. I was supposed to go out tonight or last night or now. And whenever Ember emailed me, I said, "No, I got to cancel my plans, man. I got to be about this Lorne shit tonight." So.
Oh my gosh! Plus, I feel like I'm on the phone with a celebrity because you do pornography right, as do
Thank you. That's very nice of you.
Yes, I am on the phone. And by the way, you're very, very, very smart. And I've had to look up like 5 words that you've used.
That will be in 4 or 5 fucking hours.
Which I love doing, so.
Well, I appreciate that compliment. You're very articulate as well, and however much of this facade is real in terms of your persona, he's got good taste, at least I'll give him that. That's about the only thing he's got going for him.
I mean, literally. I mean, because he spent the entire time he has been sending me kind of damage control messages, but nothing of substance. And it's like, I think you've become the new doctor, because which is gonna make poor Kyle so jealous. But I mean, it's like let's see, I don't even know how to count them, but like starting here. And let's see, I'm going to start scrolling.
Can you forward this to me? I want to know. I don't ever use my real phone for like internet things, just because you got to be safe and stuff. But whenever I sent you that text message, is because I was like, man, we've got to be able to communicate off the grid here.
Yes.
Because we've got to be able to do that, and so I just. I'm glad I did though, because I think that really helps for you to be able to coach me and stuff.
Yeah, ditto. Because if you say if you want me to say something, I'll say it for sure. And this is great. I mean, he is so pissed. But what you said about the hidden agenda, why is it okay for him to have an agenda, but them?
Yeah.
Like that was brilliant. I mean, he really had no defense for this. So, just looking, it's just like...
all of this shit is stuff that he has had coming to him for so long.
It's like...
he needed to hear.
This guy has told...
It went from Lorne bashing therapy to a personal call to a date to more personal conversation.
No, I was going to say that my approach to this project tonight was to say, I as much as I possibly can without giving away my cover, I've got to be the voice of the Church of God tonight.
Yes.
These are things that people have wanted to say to him, have said about him when discussing this ongoing saga, and I was so excited to finally get an opportunity to say some of it to him.
It's brilliant. This guy has told you some bullshit lies and has hit on you when he's married. What else? This guy is trying to convince you that I'm something I'm not. Here's the brilliant part. So after you had talked about how he taught the girl how to masturbate, he said, what's troubling is that I truly intended to just be nice and give her someone to talk to because nobody else would talk to her. I never meant it to turn sexual.
Fucking clown, man. See, that's kind of bullshit. There's times when you think about everything that this operation has done to him, and you can feel like maybe a momentary tinge of compassion, not to say, yeah, this would be a pretty shitty thing for people to do to anybody, but then you remind yourself who this guy is and what he's about, and it's that kind of stuff like you just read that does that. You say, fucking, this guy will not, he just won't own who he is and what he's done. And as long as that's who he is and who he chooses to be, fuck him, man, to hell with him. Let's just crap on him until he's dead.
When you talked about the condoms thing, he said she asked me to bring condoms and a gift. Like, I don't know about you, but if a 13-year-old boy asked me to bring condoms and a gift, I'm going to say, okay, I'm not bringing you anything, and I'm not coming.
Yeah, that's you guys have been over that so many times in the recordings about the condoms and why he brought the condoms and this and that. And my thought was always the same. Why, when she asked you if you brought the condoms, you gleefully answered, yes, I did. That blows your whole defense, man. It's so obvious. I was so excited to be able to finally hit him with that tonight. Or, I wish, that's something I wish I could have done while he was on the line, or while I knew he was on the line, because I would have loved to appear and try to him and haw and weasel his way out of that. But that was, that felt good. I think there's going to be a lot of people in the churches when they hear that part, they're going to say, hell yeah, finally somebody said it. Because I understand why you never did, because that's a game winner. You know what I mean? There's no coming back from that one, and that's one of those terminal things that you can't say, because your whole objective here is just to keep this thing going.
Yeah, and well, here's the thing. Did you notice how I completely, you hear the recordings and you hear me say things similar to what you said, but did you see how I completely took a submissive role? And
yeah, it was so good. It's so good, man.
So what do you mean? I completely backed it up, and well, what do you mean? Can he change? I completely did a 180 from what Ramona usually is, because that's the old Ramona. That's how I started out, and and that's what made him fall in love or whatever, is the fact that
it has the psychological effect of reassuring him, because I've had relationships where we fought like cats and dogs. Half of all we did was fight, have arguments. So it's not good. But when I was younger and stuff, and but the good ones, no matter how pissed off we are at each other, when it comes to other people, like her parents, my parents, that kind of thing, it's a united front. You know what I mean? We can be really pissed off at each other, but we've always got each other's backs when outsiders come in.
Yeah.
And that's what he needed to hear from you tonight, because you've been really, really hard on him. But what he saw from you tonight was devotion when it counts, when from his perspective it counts. And that, you just bought yourself a lot of time with him in terms of offset all of the clues that you should get out of this, because you're fucking with him. But that's the kind of thing that he'll mentally latch onto and use that to justify staying in this as long as for a whole lot longer. So it was a masterful play on your part, drop off.
Because, I could have played it off I don't know. How do I get out of it? No, but, my thing is let you do the bashing, and I do the defending. And plus, it'll make a good listen for the church, because they know it's fake, so they'll say, wow, Ramona, she's really she really dumbed it down, because usually they're used to me sounding like you did, okay, you brought condoms to fuck a 13-year-old.
Why is it so hard to tell him you need to get off the phone?
But now I was like, well, you've turned into the doctor. Now why is it so hard to tell him you need to get off the phone? What should I say?
You want to call him and I'll
hold on. Let's let him stew for a minute. Let's let him get jealous. He's telling me a funny story. He's being goofy.
Hell yeah.
And telling me a funny story. I'll call shortly.
Oh, it feels so good.
Oh, doesn't it? It feels like I don't know. it feels great.
Man, I forgot about that Casey and JoJo song until you
I love that song.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to listen to it.
That story was a half-truth. I did, we were, when I moved from Seattle back to Texas, I had a girlfriend at the time that rode down with me, and we stopped in Vegas and all that, so that part of it was true. But she kept playing that fucking song, man, over and over again. That one and the Shaggy song, I got so sick of those damn songs.
Oh my gosh. How old are you, by the way?
Yeah, Reet. Good job. Spend more time with that fat. Get closer to him, too. That's healthy for us.
I am 39. Sorry, that's an Anthony Columbo joke. Anyway, but
so you're a couple
I'm 39.
So you're a couple months away from the big 4-0.
Yeah, man. Well, I already turned 39 for the year, so I got another year.
Oh, okay. So you just had a birthday. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Fortunately, I can enjoy not being 40 for a little bit longer, but man, I don't mind. I'm so happy to be like to me, because wisdom comes with age, and
oh yeah,
like, you know what I mean. Like, if you do it right, this is a good time to be alive. I wouldn't go back to the frustrations that come with being. You're 25, right?
Nope, I'm 30.
Are you 30 right on? Okay, so you're kind of out of it too. You're out of the, like, being in your 20s is great. I mean, I'm not saying, it was an awesome time, but, like, I got money, I've got stability, I know where I'm at, I know who I am, all those kind of things.
Oh yeah.
I can pretty much do what I want to do, and it's a struggle when you're younger.
Fucking bullshit.
He's so mad. Oh gosh, he's so mad. This is so great. It is like, it's funny though, because I look at people at 30 years old, and I'm still excited about what I'm going to learn every day and the wisdom I'm going to gain. Because I swear, I don't know what happened over the last, I would say, 2 years. But, I think in the last 2 years, I gained more wisdom than in the last, than in the first, 5 years of my 20s. And I look at people like Lorne, and I'm like, where is that wisdom? He shows zero.
Right. No, that's what I meant when I was talking about, when he said he's going to be the guy he was when he was 25 again.
Yeah.
And that's what I meant when I was talking about how, if you're trying to be 25 again when you're 50, you're all wrong. You're all wet, man. You haven't gotten it. And for someone to be so devoid of any kind of insight and understanding and wisdom at that age, he's the kind of guy that makes the same stupid mistakes over and over again, and he probably will for the rest of his life. And if it were, I know guys like that. You probably do too. People like that. I'm sure you do too. Most of us do. People they just think small. They don't know how to think beyond what's right in front of them, and they can never broaden their perception of the world, and so they never learn from their mistakes. They never learn from other people's mistakes. They never learn from their victories. They just go through the motions, and it's like running into a wall over and over again, and they never seem to understand that they don't have to keep running into that same wall. And like I said, I have friends like that, and I have people in my family like that, and I hurt for them. I wish I could fix them. It's sad to see people like that. But then when it's somebody like Lorne, who tried to be a child rapist, fuck him if he says different, and who's an alcoholic. If he's not an alcoholic, he's right in that wheelhouse. Who's abusive, he's a fucking dickhead. He has no redeeming qualities as a human being.
None.
And
that's fucking horseshit.
And, like the joke I always used to make when I first got into the TCAT stuff was, these people don't have human rights. They exist for our amusement. They exist so that we can fuck with them and make, and I can, and I want every day to be more miserable than the day before. That's what he deserves for choosing to be the person that he is, and it's nobody's fault but his that he's that guy. It's not the fucking cousin who didn't give him the deviled eggs 30 years ago or whatever.
Oh gosh, I know the brother and the sister and another brother were supposed to give him mac and cheese and meatballs and deviled eggs, and it's like, it's like sometimes there is that, wow, I feel kind of bad for him thing.
You just cut your boyfriend off because you're talking to another guy.
But then he does something abusive, and it's like, I don't feel bad for him. Like, I remember one day we were on the phone. We've got to figure out a way for me to learn that you have a big penis so that you can be like horse date number 2.
I would say do this, because I don't think there's any way to play that angle without either being super obvious or just like he's going to say, what the fuck, man? You're just fucking with me. I think what you should do is, like, if you want to play up the good looks, the physique, you could say he's tall and he's built well and whatever else, like you said.
He's cute, he's built well, he's good build.
Maybe say that I told you a story about how I was a competitive weight trainer, bodybuilder when I was young, something stupid like that. So make it about the looks, about the sexuality, but do it in a discreet way, in a subtle way, so that it's not quite so crude as he's got a big dick, because that'll be enough for him to be afraid that whenever you look at me, you're wishing you could see my body, or you have these fantasies, whatever else. That a lot of times goes further to drive us wild as men. Is the implication?
So you're an MMA guy.
Whatever you want. You could tell him that I was a bodybuilder, that I competed as a bodybuilder or something, and I have the physique to prove it. I make some comment about me being built, or it's not too far from the truth.
You sound like a guy who's built. Like, that's what I get from your voice, which sounds really weird. That's what it sounds like. Like, you don't sound like a really scrawny guy.
No, I trained. I started lifting again about 4 years ago, so I had gotten out of it for a long time, and I just decided I kept telling myself I'm going to get back into it. So I have a spare room in my house, and bought a power rack, and I had some equipment from when I used to lift, and anyway, turned it into a gym and tore up the floors, and now there's dents all over the walls, and I'm going to have to fix all that shit someday.
Oh my gosh, it's like, it's okay. So you were telling me stories from when you were a weightlifter. You're so goofy, and you
tell him you know what you can tell him.
What?
This would be good. This is a true story. So you could use this as an entree into, because like you could say, well, we were relating to each other, and he suffered a training injury just like I did, right? So you could tell him the story, because this is a true, and this happened to me a few years ago. I was doing deadlifts. No, I wasn't. I was doing bent over rows, barbell rows. Mm-hmm. And I had, I've got these, I don't know if you're into weight training or not, but there's these things called Holland hooks. You know what I'm talking about? Have you ever, basically the wrist straps with these metal hooks that go into, so, because, they help with the grip on heavy lifts. Mm-hmm. And so I was doing rows, and I think I was doing deadlifts, because there's a lot of weight on the bar. Anyway, so I set the weight, I set the bar down, and I had those hooks on, and I overexerted myself, so I was like faint in the head, and so I lost my balance and I fell forward. But because I had those hooks on the bar, I couldn't get either hand off in time to catch myself, and I fell right into a weight plate on my face.
Ooh.
And I didn't do any damage to my face, thank goodness. I mean, it knocked me out. Like, I was out. I was probably out for 15 to 20 seconds.
Holy crap.
Yeah, and it fucked up my shin because the bar has, you know, the knurling on it. So anyway, it was like, I don't know why I told that story, but because it was funny because like I don't use those hooks anymore.
Talk to your fucking date all fucking. I'm going to fucking bed.
Because they do work to help with the grip, but man, if I start falling over and I can't. I mean, I was like, if that had happened any other way, if I had caught that plate on my face and my head any other way.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, it could have knocked my teeth out or who knows what. But,
that's the first thing I thought of is, oh my gosh, how many teeth did he have to get replaced?
Man, it's so bad. It's so bad. And it was, anyway, it was just, I'm trying to think of why I did something wrong, because usually you could just push the bar out. Oh, I know what it was. That's what it was. When I put the bar down, I had these plates in front of the load on one side, so I couldn't push the bar away. That's what it was, because normally all you would have to do is just change the position of the bar a little bit to catch your balance, you know. But the bar was, there. I had a stack of weights in front of it. That's what happened.
Give me 3 minutes.
Anyway. But you could tell him that story and you know, exaggerate it. Tell him I knocked my teeth out and I had to get new teeth or something like that.
No, I don't want to take away your natural beauty. Oh my gosh, he's getting so mad. He's like, talk to your fucking date all fucking. He just said, talk to your fucking date all fucking. I'm going to bed. I'm going to fucking bed. Oh gosh.
Go on to sleep. Call him.
All right, go on mute. I'm calling him.